So you've probably been seeing all those incredible photos of Georgia popping up everywhere and thinking, hey, is that the trip for me? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to map out the perfect Georgian getaway for you, from start to finish.
You know, this quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of why Georgia is so popular right now. Think about it. You get to wander down these charming cobblestone streets, you're surrounded by all this ancient history and jaw-dropping mountains, but without that sticker shock you'd get in, say, Paris or Rome. It's absolutely the best of both worlds.
And here's the really incredible part. The sheer variety you can pack into just one trip. I mean, one day you could be exploring the historic little alleyways of Tbilisi, and literally the next day you're on this epic trek in the Caucasus Mountains. You can go from chilling on a Black Sea beach to sipping wine in a region that's been perfecting it for, get this, 8,000 years. It's just an amazing range of experiences in one super compact country.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down for you. We'll start with the big picture, then we'll nail down that visa process. Talk numbers with a real budget breakdown, give you some pro tips for your first 24 hours on the ground, and wrap it all up with how to travel respectfully and, like a local.
So what are the basic facts you need to know? Let's take a quick look at what makes Georgia such a convenient and, frankly, irresistible getaway from India.
I mean, just look at how accessible this place is. The flight is totally manageable, and with only a 1.5-hour time difference, you can basically forget about jet lag, which is amazing. Plus, knowing it's one of Europe's safest countries, that's a huge bonus for your peace of mind.
And you know what? That convenience doesn't stop there. It actually extends to what is often the biggest travel headache of them all, the visa. For Georgia, the process is probably way simpler than you're thinking.
Okay, so first things first. You got to figure out which of these two paths is the one for you. Getting this right from the very start is going to save you a ton of time and, let's be honest, a lot of paperwork.
Now here's the fantastic part. If you already hold a valid visa for places like the UAE, the US, or the Schengen Zone, you likely don't need to do a single thing. You can just show up and enter Georgia with your existing visa. No extra paperwork. For everyone else, the online e-visa is your go-to, and it's a really straightforward path.
So for those of you who do need the e-visa, don't worry, it's a simple 6-step online process. Just make sure you apply at least a couple of weeks before your trip, just to be safe. Get your documents in order, pay the fee, and that approval will land right in your inbox. Easy.
All right, let's talk money. The big question, right? How much should you actually budget for a trip to Georgia? We're going to break down the real costs so you can plan everything without any nasty surprises.
For a really comfortable 5 to 7 day trip, a good average to keep in your head is right around 95,000 rupees per person. But of course, that's a flexible number. You can for sure do it for less if you're a budget backpacker, or, spend a lot more if you're looking for that luxury experience.
And hey, if you're leaning towards the convenience of a tour package, this gives you a pretty clear idea of the price range. A more budget-friendly package will run you about 82,500 rupees, while a family package with more stuff included, it's going to be closer to that 1 lakh mark.
Now this is huge. Take a look at where your money is actually going. Flights, they make up almost half the cost. So what does that mean? It means booking them 2 to 3 months in advance is the single most effective thing you can do to bring down your overall budget.
Okay, and this is a really important reality check from a travel expert who actually lives in Georgia. While it's still an amazing value compared to Western Europe, prices have gone up. So just be a little cautious with those older blog posts that promise a rock-bottom budget. Plan for today's costs to be safe.
All right, you made it. You've landed in Tbilisi. Your first day really sets the tone for the entire trip. So let's make sure it's smooth and totally stress-free with these essential on-the-ground tips.
Okay, listen up, because this one is a non-negotiable, game-changing tip. Download the Bolt app before you even leave India. Street taxis, especially from the airport, don't have meters and are just notorious for overcharging tourists. Using Bolt guarantees you a fixed, fair price and a much, much calmer start to your vacation.
I know. Those global eSIMs seem super convenient, right? But trust me on this one, local is way better here. The Georgian provider MagD offers fantastic coverage, even up in the mountains where a lot of those other eSIMs just fail. The smart move is to buy their SIM card once you're in the city. For about 300 rupees, you can get a week of unlimited data. It's a no-brainer.
Let's talk about handling your money on the ground. So, in cities like Tbilisi, your card is going to work almost everywhere. But, and this is a big but, you absolutely need cash, Georgian lari, for smaller guest houses and any time you venture into the rural areas.
The best strategy? Just withdraw what you need from an ATM right when you arrive. You'll get a much better rate than you ever will at those currency exchange counters.
And finally, let's get into the small things that can completely elevate your trip from good to great. A little bit of cultural awareness will help you connect with Georgia and its people on a much, much deeper level.
Respect is just key, especially when you're visiting Georgia's ancient and truly beautiful religious sites. For women, carrying a light scarf to cover your head is pretty much essential. And really, for everyone, just dressing modestly by covering your shoulders and knees is the expected and, the respectful thing to do.
And hey, for all the vegetarians and vegans watching, get ready because you are in for a treat. Thanks to a long tradition of religious fasting, nearly every restaurant has what they call a samrklovo menu, which is completely free of animal products. This makes Georgia a surprisingly delicious and super easy destination to navigate if you're on a plant-based diet.
So, there you have it. We've walked through the practical steps, the real costs, and the cultural keys to unlocking a fantastic trip. We've laid out the entire plan. The only question left is the one right there on the screen. Is Georgia your next adventure?